This is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Draconum Blade. And Draconum Blade has a question inspired by a video game. And his question is this. Recently Draconum Blade and a friend were enjoying a video game that featured the idea of cybernetically enhanced soldiers. And Draconum Blade is of the opinion that this would be a very bad thing. He fears that cybernetic enhancement of military personnel would cause them to lose their humanity. He does believe that cybernetic enhancement could be a good thing in medical circumstances to save people's lives, or to improve people's lives. But for the purpose of creating a cybernetically enhanced soldier, he thinks it's a very bad idea, and he would like my take on it. And my answer to this is, well, would a cybernetically enhanced soldier be a bad idea? I imagine we'll find out. I can't imagine that we won't see this technology applied in this way. I don't really think it's a good idea, but I'm sure it's an idea that we'll see, and we'll probably see it fairly soon. And for those of you who are not familiar with what we're talking about, the idea of cybernetic technology is enhancing the human body through technology. There are all kinds of different applications for this, and you see it all the time in science fiction. But it isn't really science fiction, because you also see it beginning to happen in the real world. Usually when you see cybernetic technology at this point, it's medical in character, when it's unquestionably a wonderful thing which can do some really wonderful things to enhance people's lives or even to save their lives. But will it be used for other purposes? Well, of course it will. Technologies are almost never not used, and almost never not used in every way they can be used. So I can't imagine that we won't find out if this is a good thing or a bad thing. And as to which it is, well, I don't really know. I think in most ways it would be good. Some of the things I've heard suggested for cybernetics, of course, obviously there are things like helping blind people to see or deaf people to hear, but also things like implanting knowledge in people's heads in the form of vast encyclopedias, so they don't actually have to learn information, it will simply be there. Will we see this come to pass? I can't again imagine that we won't. Will it be a good thing? Well, who's to say until we get there? I think it could be good, I think it could be bad, and it probably will be both. But will it happen? I'm virtually certain that it will. What kind of applications will we see? Well, one of the things about technology is that you don't necessarily know where it's going to take you. So we may see applications we would never imagine. And as for cybernetically enhanced soldiers, will this turn the soldiers into Imperial Stormtroopers? Well, quite possibly. The theme of the soldier turned into a machine is a very old one and very widespread, because it's one of the major fears of humanity, I believe. The fear of people being turned into machines is a major fear of humanity. And it certainly is a fear that comes with cybernetics, but there are also many advantages. And many things become possible to us as humans through the application of this kind of technology that would never be possible otherwise. Is it good or bad? Again, we won't really know till we've done it. And the likelihood that we won't do it, I think, is virtually nil. One would like to think that people have the common sense not to do things that they don't understand, not to open bottles they can't recap, not to open doors they can't close, but we all know perfectly well that people do that all the time. And they certainly will do it with this. Now, what can we as magical people do to help to focus this in a positive rather than a negative direction? Well, that's where energy comes in, and we should all be focusing on the future we want, not the future that we fear. We're magical people. We know that focus creates an effect. We know that energy affects things in the physical world, and energy is affected by our focus. Therefore, if you're worried about this kind of thing, focus on what you want to see, not on what you fear. And that way you can help to focus the energy in that direction rather than the opposite. This is part of what the spiritual war for peace is all about. It's about focusing our energy where we want it to go and not where we fear it might go. And as I've often said, it's not just about an absence of conflict, but rather a world of social justice where everyone can have a decent life. So, again, will we see this technology? Well, of course we're going to see it. Will it be good or bad? Well, I think we have a role to play in that. but we won't really know till we get there. And will we get there within the lifetime of most of the people watching this vlog? Well, I think that we probably will. I think, in fact, we'll get there pretty quickly. What will be the outcome? Well, life will go on as it always does, and it will be a little different. And again, if we focus on what we want rather than what we fear, if we be the change we want to see, we can make that future a better one. If we simply allow it to happen, well, other people will shape it. So those would be my thoughts on the matter. I hope you find them helpful, and until next time, may you blessed be. Pray for peace. Pray for love. Pray for stability. Pray for the nation where you live. Pray for the world. Hello! This is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you for Pagans Tonight Radio. Pagans Tonight Radio is an online radio network with different hosts and different shows 7 nights a week. There's something for every taste, including Spanish language programming on Saturday evening. Check out paganstonight.com today.